My biggest growth that I had was the people that I trust and I love in my world that would watch the stuff I was doing and they'd be like, that doesn't feel like you. And that friction can be really hard to hear. There was times I got really defensive over it where I was like, what do you mean? Like, I'm doing it. Like, I'm making this work. Like, I'm getting out there. I'm getting creative and all this stuff. But it was interesting to have them point that out and go, but that's not you. Like, it's not that you can't do a video. How it was done isn't you.
Welcome to 10 Tenths, where we coach real estate agents out of burnout and into high-performing businesses that fuel their lives. As always, I'm Matt and he's Garrett, and if it's your first time joining us, welcome. You've come to an incredible podcast that is quickly going to become your number one, and you're going to listen to it every Monday and Thursday when we release these things, plus the little extra bonuses that we throw in there from time to time. If you're not on our YouTube channel, you should go over there and subscribe because you get to see us on video. And whenever we do our live broadcast podcasts, they're on YouTube first. Then we pull the audio and post it up on whatever platform you're listening to us on right now. So subscribe to us on YouTube. Garrett, good morning to you, sir.
Good morning, sir. Excited to jump into another episode with you. I think we got I know we have a great concept for today.
Yeah.
This is going to be a good one. And
we're really humble about it too.
I know. And why hide? But this one came out of us working together. This one came out of us, actively between you and Sarah and I. A lot of people don't realize that there's three of us that make the team of 10 Tenths. And the three of us do a lot of work using different platforms, using AI, throwing things into different models and seeing how things come together. And we really started to realize, Matt, there's so many great tools out here right now, but there are certain things that take it to a different level, that raise the bar, that all of a sudden, really allow it to go to the level that we want it to be at. Take it to 10 tenths. Allows it to go 11 tenths. Take it to 11. There we go.
Yeah. Yes.
So we're going to talk a little bit about that today. And I'm excited to kind of go down this journey with you, Matt.
Yeah. There's so much value AI is great. There's a lot of great tools out there to make your work more efficient and even make it more effective. And a lot of people using ChatGPT and Claude and Perplexity and the others.
You can keep going forever.
To help them brainstorm on stuff. The chatbot versions of these things, right? A lot of people using that like, let me help it brainstorm. It's going to think for me, think with me, which is what I'd recommend versus it thinking for you.
Yep.
But Garrett, we were building out this accelerator that we just hosted, which I'm so happy with how this came out, by the way. So if you guys haven't had an opportunity to watch our free webinar on the engagement engine and then go participate through our week-long accelerator, it's now available on demand. So you can go to our website and find that. And building it out, many of you may not know that we also live 3,000 miles away. I'm in South Carolina and Garrett's in Northern California. It is a very long distance and it's also a 3-hour time gap. So at best, we get like half of a working day where we're both kind of available to do work stuff. I mean, we do chat at night and stuff like that, but we also coach too. So it's sometimes hard for us to find dedicated time to get together when we're not podcasting or doing group coaching or things like that to work on things deeply, right? It's not like I could just walk next door and be like, hey, Garrett, can we just jam on this for a second?
Yep.
And so as we're pulling a lot of this content together, we prepared a lot of stuff through AI, helping us kind of format and frame and kind of all this stuff. And then Sarah said, hey, let's just go through everything, word by word, line by line together to make sure that this is all right. And so we did that. And what happened, what came out of that was so much better than if we were working on it alone.
Yep.
And this is the good friction of working with human beings and your team to kind of rub against each other. Because Garrett, we all had different opinions on certain things, and then we're able to talk about them and then arrive at what our collective correct opinion was on how we wanted to proceed with things. And it produced such a better product.
Well, and we're big believers in AI. I mean, we use it for so many things. We're constantly, and Matt, you made an important point up front, is I'm a big believer in help it. use it to help you think deeper, use it to help you go to a different level of like, well, I never thought about this that way or looked at it from that direction. The times that I watch people get into, I'm going to say, hot water with AI tools, things that they use, is they allow it to be the decision maker. They allow it to be the creative piece where it's like, ooh, it created that. I'm just going to run with that and use that. We see posts all the time that we're just like, that is not the person that wrote. Like, I can tell from a mile away. Or like when I use AI, I have to go back many times and go like, I gave you all the information. I just need you to formulate it in my voice. Stop getting creative. Stop making decisions on this thing. The beauty that happened with what I saw and what you experienced when we went through things line by line, there were so many scripts, so many dialogues, so many things, even though we had fed it everything.
Yeah, we wanted it to perfect it. And then it just did other things with it.
Yeah, we gave it the entire platform of what we were trying to create, and then it went down these areas. And what was great is when we went through it line by line together was these moments of like, oh, no, and just eliminating tons of stuff as we went through it, just the three of us. Also looking at it different and going, well, it's a nice script, but like, what if it was, this has to be from us. This has got to be our tone, our energy. It's the reason that people show up and want to be in the 10/10 world. And if it doesn't jive, if it doesn't feel right, it can't happen. And that friction of working with a team, because there was things that we went through and you're like, I feel pretty good about this. And then Sarah or I would be like, I don't know if that's really the right way. And we got to have a real conversation. There was one sentence I remember where you're like, this doesn't make any sense. And I'm like, you're pausing in the wrong spot. Read it this way. And all of a sudden you're like, oh, that's good. I was like, yeah. But you got to be able to have those conversations, because it would be easy if you were just using an AI platform. Just go, well, eliminate this, eliminate that, eliminate this. We're going to run with this. And you lose your voice. And I think that's the thing you got to be very careful about, is the easy way in this world that we're in right now. Sometimes you will lose your voice, and the friction of the three of us made that voice still stay true to what we're building.
Yeah, which was even better than just one of us going through it. Because I think, and this is the challenge, I think, for a lot of people who are solopreneurs, real estate agents. You're in that category, right? Where you're reading through things. And so you use somebody, read it. If you're writing something and you're having AI help you with it, which a lot of you do with emails and listing descriptions and social media posts that are outrageously obviously written by ChatGPT, have somebody else read it first, because you might read and be like, yeah, this is fire, right? And then you post it and maybe it doesn't get the response, and you're just like, huh, why not? Because people won't say it. Like, and part of that is because now I have this weird fear, because I always thought it was the M dashes that were the big sign. And I've seen people even make the post and they circled them. And then Sarah was like, I write with M dashes. And I'm like, I don't even know how to make an M dashes.
You caused Sarah so much stress, because this writing style that she's had forever, all of a sudden she's like, oh, like, well, then how do I fix my style that I've had forever? And it was so funny to watch her for like a month.
Well, now I embrace it after us, getting together on this. And I actually now look for the opportunities to use it appropriately.
Oh, now you're getting fancy, man.
In certain venues. And Sarah does a lot of writing for us. Some of our best posts inside of our community are written by Sarah, not by AI, by Sarah. And when you're writing something like that, that's where it makes sense. Unless, like, when I see an M dash show up in my text message, I'm just like, how did you even do that? Like, I don't even know how to make the M dash happen. So this must have been a copy paste, right? But there's more than that, right? There's the simple framework of where it always goes two negatives into a positive. It's like, not this, not that, just this, right? Yeah. And you can start to see these patterns show up, because a computer program is going to operate on patterns. Humans also operate on patterns, but if you want your voice to come through, because AI will put your voice into those patterns, but you can break those things down by simply either reading something out loud or reading it to somebody or have somebody else read it so you can make the tweaks that you need. That friction will be beneficial, particularly for the most important things that you do. Garrett, we also experienced there, but there are some places where like AI can be great and you can do copy paste out of certain things or let it kind of, summarize what's going on. So I'm not saying you need to always do that, but you have to be aware and understand that some of this good friction with another human can create a better product for you at the end of the day.
Oh, yeah. Well, I was thinking back when we were first starting 1010s, Matt, when we were first launching it, we were trying to find our feel, our vibe, our energy. I mean, we'd been podcasting for a long time together. So like showing up and doing a podcast wasn't an issue. Creating other content, that was something that we were all of a sudden like, okay, we now need to be on Instagram. We got to be on Facebook. We got to have our own business pages. We need to have this short content going out here all over the place. And it was really interesting. It was one of the areas that I struggled with the most of finding my true voice and how I was showing up. And I would make videos and I'd be like, that didn't feel like me. I'm trying to be some other content creator out here. I'm using all their little things that I saw in a video they did earlier this day. My biggest growth that I had was the people that I trust and I love in my world that would watch the stuff I was doing and they'd be like, that didn't feel like you. And that friction can be really hard to hear. There was times I got really defensive over it where I was like, what do you mean? Like I'm doing it. Like I'm making this work. Like I'm getting out there. I'm getting creative and all this stuff. But it was interesting to have them point that out and go, but that's not you. Like it's not that you can't do a video. How it was done isn't you. And those were those moments that's like, I needed to hear that more than anything. I needed not get defensive over it. That friction that was happening from somebody that really cared about me and what I was doing and wanted to see the best was one of the best things I could hear, because it didn't take very long to find a groove and to go like, ooh, I can do this my way, my energy, my voice, my personality coming out through it. And I'm not trying to copy anybody. I'm not trying to be fake. I'm not trying to, it was hard conversations, but all my kids would look at my video. I love how they'll be so open with me. And they were like, no. I was like, oh, like, I'm trying. They're like, well, you got to keep trying, Dad, because that's not it. And
it's okay to try, right? I mean, that's how you've also evolved with all of that stuff. I was trying something and it's like, no, it doesn't work.
But I think like for everybody out there, like as you're wanting to do more videos, as you're wanting to be more on social media, one of the best things you can do is ask some of your most trusted friends, hey, can you just look at my stuff? And if they're really comfortable, if you set the stage right, they will be an awesome sort of friction in your world going like, It's good, but did you realize that your trash can's overflowing behind you, like in your video? And like I mean, just pick up some stuff a little bit, because there's things that you're not noticing. And in those little moments, like that's a little feedback that you need to hear. And sometimes it's hard to hear. Sometimes it's bigger than a trash can. My mom made a comment about how my mouth moved one time, and it took me about a month to get over it on video. I was like... But it's funny is I wasn't mimicking somebody. It was just something that I had just started doing. And the more I went back and watched the videos, I'm like, crap, she's right. Like that's too bad. But needed to hear it.
Yeah, we often don't like that feedback. And when it comes to working with AI, we want to believe, oh, it's going to be perfect. Because, well, AI wrote this. This is going to slam dunk. I asked AI to give me a home run caption that's going to be shareable. It's going to do all these things. I gave it the best prompt in the world. This thing's going to take off, man. I want to trust it, right? But you got to go back through and noodle it and say, hey, is this serving what I want it to serve? There's a lot of fluff that gets put in too, Garrett. We went through and even taking something as simple, I was doing this I was having was going through even Claude and ChatGPT. I was like, I have these takeaways from this thing. I want to summarize them in this way. And it just kept bloating it. I was like, stop doing that. And then I just decided to scrap the whole thing and essentially do it myself, which that's a good realization too, but it just kept adding so much stuff. And I was like, we could take this out. We could take this out. We could take this out. And whenever you're doing messaging or you're working on something that is going to move from the tool that you're using into the client facing side, ask yourself, do I have more than enough here? Because if I have more than enough, can I pare it down to still achieve the same result? Because people have short attention spans, right? And if we're just adding unnecessary words or things in there, let's just take it out. Unless you're trying to emphasize something as well. I mean, I'm not saying that this is right or wrong. I'm just saying that there's a big value, is what we're saying, a big value into working with other humans to make sure that you are putting together a product that you can truly get super excited about.
Well, and this is where I think as you're continuing to use AI, we're all going to continue to use AI. Those of you that aren't using AI right now, you will be using it as we move forward. You will, at some moment, you're going to be like, all right, I'll try it. I'll give into it. You're going to be like, whoa, this thing does all this stuff. You will get there. The coolest thing though is when you get, it's like a springboard to get the thing get it started. And then you take all those pieces and you sit with a real human, be it yourself, and go through it. But it's so much better when you can bring in other real humans. And this is where I think there's a part of AI that if you want to really level up your experience with AI, at some point you do need to bring in real humans, because the real humans will keep it really on point with the brand. They can hear the tonality. They can see your energy when you say it. They can watch your interaction as you're going through this process. And all of a sudden, when it becomes real to you, that's when the value pours out of it. That's when everybody goes, this feels really good. And I don't think we'll ever cross that threshold of just taking AI and going and running with it. I mean, I was telling somebody said it a while back, it might've been Gary Vee, and he was like, you can write a book in a heartbeat using AI. You can sit down and give it a whole bunch of topics and be like, write me a book, let's do it. And the book will be done. The checkbox is done. We wrote a book. But at the end of the day, is it the book that people are going to read and go, yeah, that's Garrett Fry. Yep, that is the Garrett Fry that I know. That is the person that I've been around for 20 years doing business with. Because if there's even a moment in there, in that book where they go, huh? Like that doesn't quite feel like Garrett. Now the whole book has lost its entire value. And again, it's a springboard of amazing ideas and what ifs. And then you got to bring it all together. And Matt, this is where you and I have really noticed that when you can bring it together with the human element, that's where the magic starts to happen around this stuff. And again, we do it every day.
Yeah. And I'm sure you've noticed listening through this that we're kind of specifically talking about content, right? I mean, if you're talking about using AI or a computer program to run a process, that's a whole different thing, because you program the thing from, it's like, hey, take this and put it in here. Okay, well, that's a whole different story. And for those of you who are like, well, but I can have AI finish this. It's like, yeah, but that's a process thing. And it's interesting on the content creation, Garrett, I saw on regular television, like the AI ads on Instagram and stuff are just stupid. Like if I see another AI person of like, people think I'm 36, but I'm actually 67 and it's all thanks to Tai Chi walking. And I'm like, okay, if I see another like AI ad, I will. So I'm just not going to do anything. But I saw one on regular TV. And like, I was like walking by, Jen had the TV on. I'm like, is that an AI TV commercial? I'm like, this is garbage. Because, and I get what about animation and all this stuff? Understood. A lot of it depends on the creative process, but you can tell when it is the machine that's doing the thing versus a human behind the machine doing the thing. And that is the difference. You want to make sure that people can see the human behind it, not just the thing.
You made a great point a while back, Matt. We were talking about the marketing stuff that was being put together to market, let's say, a specific agent. And it would put together a video, or it would put together a picture with like a caption over the top of it. And you could tell it was slightly AI. And you were like, why don't you just do that? Like, it's great that you had AI create that for you. You took it and you threw it up and you posted it. But like, what if you actually did that? What if you put that nice suit on? What if you sat in that chair and you took a real picture and you ran with that? Stephen Foster is he's an aide. I think actually he now works at the Group, I think is where he's at. Stephen, years ago, went and had all these pictures done of him, all these captions, all this motivational stuff. He's in a really nice suit, red tie, looking sharper than sharp. And when he brought them all out, before everybody was like mass, blasting everybody's social media platforms with them sitting in a chair with their little, quotes next to them, he did it a long time ago. Yeah, on their phone. He did it a long time ago, but in a very classy way. And you can tell it's a real photo. You can tell it's really him. And he's been reusing them forever. Like I called him years back and I was like, dude, those are great. And he goes, I made like 20 of them and I just roll through them, that number may be off, but he goes, I just roll through them. I bring them back up, throw them on social media. The amount that I see today, Matt, that someone took the easy route with AI, had it create an image of them sitting at a desk, walking, doing something, and you can watch their face morph and change as it goes through the AI. And the worst part, and the reason you can tell it's morphing and changing is because you know what that person looks like in real life. Like, I know what they look like in real life, and every bit of me as I'm looking at them going, nope, 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 nope. And they look different from the beginning of the video to the end of the video. Like, their whole face is not the same anymore. These are these things. It's like there's easy routes here. As we started this off, either the friction of, having people like work with you on stuff, but also like that little extra friction of do the extra work, put the extra effort in, make the video yourself. What would it look like? How could you pull that off so that it's not so fake? And that needs to be, and this is any type of content, stuff that we're creating. If it's just produced just by AI itself and its content, it's not our vibe, it's not our pulse. Unless we get our hands in it and we morph it and we tweak it and we build it and we grow with it, then it becomes 10/10s. Then it becomes Matt and Garrett and Sarah. But until you do that, it's just fictitious stuff. It's just stuff that we can easily run with.
And I think that, Garrett, just points to, you gotta like have the right energy when you're putting into it, because AI is getting better at doing these things. There was a video I was stuck on. This was just yesterday, and I was just like, this can't be real. But did
you know the person?
It was like a celebrity type thing. So like it was like a bunch of different actors in like this fake movie. But I was like, but this looks really real. Like, is this real? And like had to like really like spend some time with it to see. And the only way I was able to figure out that it's real is like, it's just not a real movie. Yeah. Everything about the video looked absolutely real. I don't know these people personally, but it's going to get to the point where you're not going to be able to tell. I believe it's going to get there. However, what you are going to be able to tell is, what is this being used for? Right. And that's the whole point. And then you have to understand, like, if I want to show myself walking through downtown Charleston, right? Is it genuine of me, even if AI can do it perfectly, right? So where nobody can tell, is it genuine for me not to go do that? And the video being like, look at me, I'm here in Charleston, all this stuff. I don't think so. Now, can you use it for certain things because you want to highlight certain things? Like, hey, imagine you're walking through this space and right, it's all AI and stuff. You're showing a different type of point there. So it depends on how you're using it too when it comes to that content, Garrett, because in that space, the latter one, you're directing it. I can tell that, okay, this is AI generated, which is just computer generated, and we watch animation all the time, but it's got the human element, it's being directed. Whereas the other thing is, you're just trying to scale up you in different places, pretending that you're all over the place when you're actually not. That's a big difference.
Here's the interesting thing that you just mentioned with the whole like movie trailer. And believe me, I've got caught. I'm like, they're making another one. Like, does it follow up? And
that's why I was spending so much time. And I was like, this is going to be awesome.
Yeah. I was like, no, they're not. That's not actually a real thing. And I think the interesting thing with like actors and how they can put them in those roles and use the AI to generate them. We'll use Brad Pitt as an example. I can take Brad Pitt and go from the movie Snatch to the movie Fight Club to the movie I had another one. Oh, Mr. and Mrs. Smith. I have 3 very, very different versions of Brad Pitt. He is a character. He's a character that morphs into different looks and different feels. And that's why you can create a thing like that with him. And you go, is this a real movie? Is this something new that's coming out? Is this? But if I use me and I do that same thing and I can tell that my face is morphing and it doesn't quite look like Garrett. Well, Garrett's not a character that shows up this way one month and this way another month and this way another month. I don't do that. I'm Garrett. I've been Garrett for a long time. I have the same mannerisms, the same twitches, the same weird stuff. I touch my face all the time. If anybody realizes and watches, go to YouTube and subscribe, by the way, and like and all that stuff and hit the bell. You'll see me.
I hold my hands down here.
Constantly touch my face and I get called out on by people all the time. My mom said she looks like I have a Coke addiction. I don't. I get called out. But those are the mannerisms and little things that make me me. And when you try to replicate yourself and put something out like that, AI is never going to pick up on all that stuff. And that's all that stuff that goes, yep, that's Garrett. That's the Garrett that I know. And I think that we should be very, very, very careful with trying to copy who we are. It is one of the true things that, and I'll wrap this thought on this, Matt. I just recently went to Japan. Japan has an incredible population of people. We were in Tokyo. I was walking around with my daughter and I said, I might have to do a podcast on this. I said, we that day we had walked 21 miles in one day. We had seen a lot of stuff. We had seen so many different things. But I leaned over to my daughter and I said, had a little moment here. Do you realize we've walked for 21 miles? We've spent an entire day walking all over Tokyo. I have not seen one person that looked like somebody else. In all the interactions and all the conversations I've had and all the people, not really that much kind of conversations, but I took the entire day looking to go like, I saw a person that looked like that person earlier. I couldn't find one. It was an active game I was playing in my head all day long. Don't lose your uniqueness. Don't give your uniqueness away. Don't try to copy the one thing that is the only thing you got that is only you is you. And I'm watching people do it with AI all the time. Don't give that up. It's confusing as all hell for anybody else out there who knows you. And it's the one thing I would say hold on to with everything you got. And leading this back into what we started this whole thing off with, Matt, is that if you find yourself doing it and people are saying it doesn't, listen really close, because those people out there, they're the ones that are making sure that you are staying genuine to who you are.
Yeah. Yeah, particularly in this business that's built on trust. I mean, if you're in the entertainment business, okay, different. Or if you're trying to entertain through content, okay. Like I've created the character, I've shared the trends, I've done those things myself too, and those were designed to entertain.
One where you
and
look
have
like
fun.
Bert and Ernie or something like that. I think you made us.
We did a puppet one. We never published it because it just looked way too creepy. It was just really creepy.
Matt with button eyes. No, that's just strange.
But it's like, what if you want to be genuine, it all depends on what you're trying to achieve with it. And because we even went down the path, people were like, hey, why don't you get into 11 Labs and use HiGen and all these things? And then you can create podcasts at scale where your avatars will work for you. And like, yeah, we could, but is that going to bring value? Is that what we're really trying to achieve? And it's not. We're not trying to build that kind of podcast. Not saying that would be the bad kind of podcast. It's just not what we're trying to achieve. And so when it comes to your business, what are you truly trying to achieve? It's going to work better if you're putting your genuine effort into it and you're creating some friction with the tools that you're using to help you do it even faster. Because yes, these AI tools are going to help you do things super fast, right? It's just, are you putting your final polish on it? And did you put your initial in there? Like Gary Vee says, the 10-80-10, right? Or maybe that's Dan Martell. Maybe it's both of them. If you're not giving it the initial 10 and the final 10, you might want to think about doing that so that you can make sure that it still is genuinely you. And that still leaves 80% to go to the tools, which is pretty awesome in my book.
And I would say, Matt, you know, we are a human at the end of the day, and everything should have a human touch at the end of it. That's what makes it real. That's what makes us, you know, drawn to it. We are attracted to humans. Kind of brings it all together. And so to put a big bow on this, one, want to say thank you for taking your time to listen to us. You know, Matt and I are of the belief that your business should fuel your life, not consume it. And we want to help people create the highest producing businesses they possibly can while feeling and supporting a life that they want to go and tackle and conquer of their own. So we appreciate all of you. If you haven't checked us out, come check out 10tenths.co. There we have all kinds of different access for you where you can come and be a part of our world. If you just want to listen to the podcast through there, you can. If you want to join the inside track, we've got all kinds of daily activities that come out through there. We have our engagement engine, and we've got the accelerator that we've got live. You can come do that anytime you want. And we've also got our in-person, I say in-person, through Zoom, 11 Circle, where we bring people together, share ideas, share concepts, all grow together. And we'd love to have you be a part of that. So if any of that sounds like something you want to be have in your world, we've got it for you. So with Matt, thank you so much. Appreciate you. Appreciate all you guys.
Take care, everybody.